Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Coming to you live from the outskirts of the internet. This is the Gaming Saloon for August 22nd, 2020. With your host, Space Worker 2448 and Rampant Epsilon.
Hi.
Good lord, it's over halfway through the year. How's the year almost over?
Good question.
Everything has caused time compression, more or less.
Sure, let's go with that.
Unfortunately, like I said on the pre-show, I forgot to put in the Indie Direct from Nintendo, which, oops, I also didn't watch it, so that's a double oops, because I was going to watch it today and I forgot to. I didn't forget to watch the original series for tomorrow. I guess, simply put, how do you feel about Hongo being back as lead for the series?
I mean, I would like that. Also, you have all kinds of noise in the background.
That was me trying to open a bag of these Rice Krispie treats. I need some sugar. Okay? It helps with my headaches.
Makes sense.
Mm-hmm. That will unfortunately be next week, so... But this week, 3 out of our 4 episodes have Hongo showing up. Also, 3/4, like 2/3 of those said episodes, also have Shocker be surprised that Hongo showed up this week. And I'm like, motherfucker, he showed up in the first episode of this batch, and then he showed up again? Why are you surprised? Also, why do we keep restating that Hayato's not the only writer? You've showed up like 5 times now. We got the picture. Also, once more, one of those times where a line gets slipped in and I'm like, do you people not know that Hayato is Nigo?
Probably not. Because, you know, Shocker gotta be dumb.
Apparently. But yeah, we've got other stuff to talk about, though. A couple of DC video game news things to talk about.
I forgot to actually finish the thing I was doing. Oops.
Oh. Oops, indeed. So we got a couple of DC video game things that got announced today at the DC Fandom event. We have follow-up on Marvel's The Avengers, a Call of Duty thing, and the all-important Halo thing, which is probably going to be the bulk of us talking about stuff this week. Because it also gets into an Xbox thing. But before all that, Tommy, what have you been playing the last couple weeks?
Well, I've done more KH2 randos.
I've got you hooked on the gameplay of that, haven't I?
A little bit. It kind of helps that the rando kind of got brought in the spotlight at the right time.
Yeah. Well, if you ever get bored with it, there's at least 3 different character mods for KH2 that all change up the game differently. It'll be like the normal base game, but it will be a different like character and different moves and stuff. I believe it's Vanitas and Ventus are out now, and the Aqua mod is in beta. Because I think Bloody is doing beta testing for them on stream. So that's like 3 different character mods. I'm gonna say this: can we get a Kyrie one? She deserves better, for fuck's sakes. Let her have a character mod. Hell, let Riku have a character mod, considering he's like a party member in this game.
And considering that he pretty much doesn't get to do anything.
For most of the game, yes.
I mean, and even when he is part of the party, the bulk of what he does is heal and or throw ethers at you.
Yeah. He is they've made him incredibly busted in the randomizer, and I'm okay with that. Because his heal should take his mana, and it doesn't.
I wonder if that's an accident, though.
I would say not. Because also, it's only supposed to be a potion. And he throws ethers and elixirs.
Fair.
No, that choice of being like, oh no, he just keeps throwing shit at you is incredibly deliberate. Also, we are incredibly close to 2 million on GDQ this year.
I mean, that doesn't surprise me.
Yeah, but I'm just like, wow, I guess this shows that even in an online setting, GDQ still has the turnout. Because I know in the first recap video I was watching for... It's Rush, actually, on YouTube. They were doing daily recaps, but they've gotten behind. So they only have daily recaps of like the first 3 days. They noted in the first one that average viewership was down from normal for this GDQ.
I feel like it was, but it also didn't feel like it hindered it too bad.
No. It wasn't like a bad one, it was just noticeable.
Well, like, right now is probably one of the peaks that I've seen anyhow, and it's only sitting around 77,000. Which, yeah, by saying that, that kind of makes it sound like, oh, well, they're not doing too good, or they're not doing too bad, but to be fair, it's nothing, especially at the end of it, to see that almost reach the triple digits.
Yeah. And I think, well, if they hit 2 million, they will have raised 1 million in a day, because they started today at 1 million, I believe.
There again, that doesn't surprise me.
Yeah.
Always the last 2 days are the big money makers. It's actually more surprising how low they were going into today.
Yeah. But they pushed hard, and hey, that's 2 million. That's almost $2 million, even if probably going to be over $2 million, the Doctor's Outporter. So, hell yeah. Good job, GDQ. I have a shit ton of runs to catch up on. Because I also missed the Night Trap run, and I need to see a Night Trap speed run. Damn it.
A blindfolded one?
No. I don't think the Night Trap was blindfolded.
Yes, it was.
Was it? I did think it was blindfolded. Never mind. I super need to see it now. Damn it.
That was an incentive.
Okay. Because I thought you said blindfold, and I'm like, oh yeah, we had the beat the target, beat the target, Smash 64 blindfolded today. I got to catch most of it. Also, it's break the target. Why did I say beat the target? It's break the target. Yeah. I do know that they said when they hit 2 million, if they hit 2 million before the end of Pokemon, which, well, they got like 4.5 hours to get there. Well, 3.5 now. They'll do Isle of Armor speedrun on top. So we get to go into overtime!
Which, I think I figured it out. It was technically already going to go overtime. Apparently them switching to online caused the normal schedule layout to not work out as easy.
I wonder why.
It's almost like they didn't plan for that.
It's almost like getting a bunch of people to be on time and making sure that nothing bad happens. Is impossible when dealing with the internet.
Well, what's bad is, most of the time they've got issues with Twitch. That's usually the common thing. They've got issues with Twitch, or someone on the tech team kind of fell behind on the job and didn't do something right, or the minor stuff.
Yeah.
This, not only did they have someone on the tech team didn't do something when they were supposed to, but they've had problems because I believe they're using Discord for the audio.
Yes, they are.
And Discord doesn't know how to handle that.
Yeah, they are using Discord because I got that confirmed in the fuck. Shit, I forgot the run. I was watching it and it happened live. I think I told you about it yesterday.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, it was that run.
The reason why I'm kind of leaning to that is because it's the weird audio desync that I know can happen, that I also feel like they don't realize is happening. Because I've noticed when Discord acts up for me, it's usually just I can't hear you. Nothing else is wrong.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Discord is not the most stable. I hate saying it, but they clearly were having the players feed their webcam into our RTMP or RMTP server. I mean, that was pretty clear, because I know even the commentators would say stuff like they've got a little bit of a delay or something like that. So I mean, that tells me right there they're all feeding it into a server that's getting essentially restreamed.
Yeah,
which makes sense. But I almost feel like since they were doing it that way, it would have been, one, smarter, and two, cheaper to have thrown up a TeamSpeak server, as outdated as that is, because it would have been a little more stable. I think Discord's got too many bells and whistles to actually handle long-term like this.
Yeah. Granted, hopefully they never have to do this again. Ever.
And hopefully they learn from their mistakes.
Yeah. Like, this will benefit because they've been doing a lot of smaller marathons. Like 2 to 3 day marathons for like smaller for like smaller things. Well, not necessarily smaller things, but like more focused events. Like
recently the CRGDQ.
Yeah, the Corona one. GDQX wasn't online, was it?
No.
Okay.
X was
Femme Fatals.
One of the
GDC, I think.
Yeah.
Was it GDC? It was either GDC or TwitchCon.
I think it might have been
one of those
TwitchCon, but I'm not 100% on that one.
Yeah.
But I think, didn't they also have some online with that?
Probably. Femme Fatals, I believe, was all online. They're all female speedrunner marathon. That I believe was all online.
I think it was either last year or it might have been the year before when they did the Harvey Relief one.
Yeah, that was probably all online too.
I know it was.
Yeah.
Because it was kind of a last minute throw it together thing.
Yeah. And then all their like usual stuff they've been doing, their like showcase stuff.
Yeah, but okay. As I've stated before, it is far easier to handle a one-off thing.
Yeah.
So you can't really compare that to it. Because to be fair, I could set up right now to have a way for us to basically be streaming to a RTMP server that then ports it all to Twitch or YouTube even. Or even simultaneously. I mean, and I could set that up right now on my computer kind of deal. It's one of those, I'm hoping they look at this and they're like, okay, we need a better audio solution. Because it felt to me like every bit of their tech issues was very blatantly Discord.
Yeah.
And the whole time I kept sitting there thinking, I was like, TeamSpeak would have been a smarter idea. Ventrilo would have been a smarter idea. Something that was dedicated only to audio. That way they didn't have to focus on everything.
But there's still been pretty good runs. I saw the back quarter of the 7R run.
I kind of had it on but didn't really care. I know that probably has just ticked a lot of people off that I said that, but yeah,
it's 7R. If you're not invested at the moment, it's probably not the best.
I'm not invested really in Final Fantasy as a whole.
Yeah.
And that's mainly because at a certain point, always get that it feels like it's a trudge. And I lose interest at that point. And then looking at that 7R, and it was, 6 hours and 40 minutes for that run?
Yeah.
I'm sitting here thinking, okay, there's not that many skips. This is gonna just feel like a drag.
I think there's like one chapter skip at least.
Yeah. Out of almost 7 hours.
Yeah.
I mean, I know the game's long. But geez.
I watched the data.org showcase.
I didn't, but
I didn't realize something until he had to load a save file to do the Sephiroth and Terra incentives. Because he had to take a death. He got one-shotted. That means the build he has for those runs does not have second chance and once more. Meaning he can legitimately be one-shotted by anything. Like, when they mean glass cannon, second chance and once more are not even involved in that scenario. Which is mind-blowing to be like, you don't even have that safety net on to, like, break out of a combo?
And in a marathon setting.
Yeah. Jesus. Granted, he did it deathless. He did that deathless. He did Sephiroth deathless. He took one death to Terra. Like, it was a practically, I wouldn't say flawless, but it was a really good showcase of, like, high-level boss gameplay of KH2. Especially updated PS4 strats. Because they use, is it Duck Flare? I'm trying to think if it's Duck Flare or if it's the other one. One of Donald's limits a lot more, because it got incredibly buffed.
I think it is Duck Flare, because I know on the randomizer, when Spike was having a hard time with Zigbar, on a crit, rando, because he's a glutton for punishment, someone made the comment, and he's like, yeah, no, this is original KH2. No, Duck Flare sucks.
Yeah. Because I think it got buffed in PS3 in the PS3 port, and I think it's frame rate dependent. So because of the higher frame rate of the PlayStation 4 version, it's buffed even more.
Oof.
Yeah, pretty much for the Lark Scene strats where you pop that in the back end of the fight. Her last 5 health bars just blink out of existence.
Huh.
You blink and 5 of her health bars, her last 5 health bars of that fight, just disappear into oblivion as you murder her with Duck Flare. Granted, that's not as impressive as juggling Zaldin for almost the entire fight and never dropping the combo. Or Zigbar, because they combo Zigbar like practically to death as well, which is also impressive because fuck his DM.
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, I think Zigbar has like a certain loop that you can lock him in, and I didn't realize Roxas does too.
Yeah, you could do it too with Roxas, but it's also tricky. Like, bear in mind, a lot of those loops are incredibly tricky and incredibly hard to pull off, because they are, I wouldn't say perfect inputs, but they are
almost
difficult to pull off. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because bear in mind, you drop them, you have skyrocket their revenge value into probably immediately triggering their DM.
Yeah. Yeah.
You have broke it.
I can honestly say this. I've basically got a save file where I can just go through the world that never was whenever I want to.
Yeah.
Thanks to the randomizer, obviously. Yeah. I apparently am so over leveled with that file that I managed to have to survive 4 of Zigbar's DMs in a row, kind of deal. Yeah, I was like, okay, good to know.
But yeah, I saw that. What else have I seen from this week? I saw a bit of the Ico run and the King of Cards run. I didn't know you could skip just about every single card segment in that game, apparently.
I didn't either, but I mean, I guess that kind of could make sense that could happen.
And it's programmed in too, because all you have to do is just go back to the goal ring and just hop on it, and oh look, you're gone. You ain't gotta play cards.
Yeah, but I mean cards.
Yeah.
Who wouldn't want to play cards that isn't speedrunning the game?
Saw a bit of the Arkham City run, a bit of the Wild Hunt run.
I think I did catch
like the latter parts of it.
Of the Arkham City run, and it is funny that you can get out of bounds so easily.
Oh, incredibly so. It's so easy.
Because a game that looks like it would be pretty decently made, no. It's got a lot of seams.
Yeah. Saw a bit of the Curse of the Moon. I missed the Ritual of the Night run. Saw a bit of Trackmania, a bit of Twilight Princess, a bit of Mario Kart 8. Saw a bit of some of The Last of Us. I think I've seen like some of a bunch of different runs. Because unfortunately, like GDQ's been in the background, so I've just been half paying attention.
Fine.
I did actually watch most of the Yakuza Kiwami 2 run because I wanted to see a Yakuza run.
I actually
am sad
didn't get to see it. Even though technically I was a viewer the entire time, I kind of had it up and was just doing other stuff and or not at home at the moment. So yeah, I've kind of just been leaving it on.
I am sad that we don't get to see more heat actions, but I am glad that we get to see perfect instances of Kiryu clearly killing a man, but nope, he didn't. Kiryu's never killed a man.
He doesn't kill people. He just makes them go to sleep.
He just kicks somebody off a truck and it gets ran over by the truck. See, the truck killed him, not Kiryu. Right. There's a difference.
He just made the dude sleep in front of the truck.
Oh, I saw the Baba Izzy run.
Oh god.
The back half of that one. It is insane. The things you do.
That game's insane though, from what I understand.
Oh, fucking manipulating how, like, having to complete puzzles in specific ways in order to do things on the overworld in order to progress further in the game. Like, making you the cursor and having to do that to push around the literal boxes that you enter to go into levels in order to get around the map in order to get to other levels. It's insanity. Like, I didn't know Baba Izzy went that hard, but it went that hard. It's fucking glorious. I saw a little bit of Breath of the Wild, but I didn't pay attention to most of it, unfortunately. I did see some of the Pump It Up run.
Oh dear God.
That was...
Wow.
That is an hour of me just going, fuck, Jesus. What is your stamina, sir? Because you have it in truckloads. Like, you have the cardio of a wrestler. But I saw that, saw like the back half of the 7R run, some of the Vice City, some of the Super Smash Bros. 64. I did see TaskBot.
Yeah. Who would have thought Mario can wall kick quicker than BLJ?
Yeah, I also didn't know that they released a fixed version of Super Mario 64 in Japan.
I didn't either. Right before it came up, I was like, okay, I'm gonna look, because this has to be like a ROM hack or something. No, it is an actual release. I'm like, okay.
It just takes out the one thing we abuse in speedruns. So we just find a way around it.
Yeah, because they didn't put a cap on Mario's airspeed.
Yeah.
And decided to let you be in close quarters, and thought that was a good idea.
And wall kick distance too.
Yeah. The other change was the bye-bye when he threw Bowser.
Yeah, I heard that.
And
Very good sound
I
effect.
think the videos that I was looking at also said that it changed the tree grab animation a little bit. Like, it wouldn't be enough to really notice.
Why?
I think it was more to put it in line with... I think what I was saying was saying it put it more in line with the North American release. So I guess because of different TV refresh rates, it ran different on the NA card.
Makes sense.
That last one though seems like an oddly specific thing, and it's like, why?
Mm-hmm.
But obviously, in a speedrun sense, that does not matter. The no backwards long jumps is kind of the problem.
I got the Pokemon running in the background on in the background at the moment. I'll probably see the rest of it. Maybe.
Possibly.
Because I might hop over to John's stream and watch Cookie tonight. 'Cause he's doing Cookie after he's done playing RE5 with DC Douglas.
With me, at one point, I did kind of want to look into Sword and Shield runs when I got finished with the base game, but I'm like, I don't know if I can do that. Because, like, how long was that estimate?
4.5 hours.
Yeah.
Just about.
Yeah. And I'm sure there's a lot of details that you need to keep in mind the entire time. Mm-hmm. And it's like, yeah, the more I got to thinking about that, the more I was like, no. Nope. I will let people that are used to that do that.
But yeah, GDQ's been fun. Unfortunately, that's all I really got.
I did, as I mentioned in the chat and during the pre-show, I did go a little farther in the Avengers beta, and it's probably a good thing we stopped where we did, because the next mission was what was needed to be completed to unlock the multiplayer, as stupid as that is. And the mission was kind of meh. Like, the tutorial stuff at the beginning I felt like was more enjoyable than that one, and I'm like,
Makes sense.
And then I tried one after, only loaded myself, didn't open it to anyone else, and the game couldn't handle it. Now, bear in mind, while I did both of these, I did have Chrome in the background running at a low quality with the Minecraft stream. It got to the point where I was like, nope, I can't handle this, forget it.
Yeah.
I don't get that. As stated at the end of yesterday's stream, my computer should be able to handle it.
Yeah, I didn't have any problems with the game itself. It was just streaming issues for me last night, but I just wasn't feeling the game. It doesn't help that, as I found out, your light combo and your heavy combo are completely separate. Even if you transition, you're still just doing the heavy combo, and the heavy combo is just 2 buttons. It's just 2 hits. And the light is, I think, 3.
Yeah.
And also, even if you only charge a little bit of the heavy attack, it goes through the entire charge animation. There's either no charge or all the charge on heavy attacks. Which makes breaking shield enemies, like, problematic.
It makes it too risky, actually.
Yeah.
Now, there is a little bit of a training area after you do that one mission that is blocking you from doing multiplayer.
Yeah.
You get to play with Iron Man in there, and I feel like everything except for flight is fine. Flight is kind of crappy because it's too drifty.
I
feel like they could fix that, actually. But I also feel like I don't think I'd be interested in the game enough to stick around to see if they would.
Yeah, I'm incredibly not interested in this. There's other things I'm more interested in.
And as I mentioned yesterday, Banner sounds like he should be Hawkeye. And that has just got me. I'm like, okay, as hard as you wanted to pull on the MCU aesthetic here, really? You didn't think that one through?
He sounds too cool.
Yeah.
For Banner.
Like I said, more of a Hawkeye is how he sounds. Not as Banner.
Which I don't know who's voicing Hawkeye, since he's like the first release.
It'd be hilarious if their voice actors should have switched. Because that would be really funny. And that might just be me complaining, but at the same time, I don't know. I just don't feel like that voice fits him. The whole voice, that worked. It's just the Banner voice. It's like, eh.
Yeah, anything else?
No, not really.
I'm looking at a preview thing on...
Okay.
What?
Why are you not
awesome?
No.
What happened?
Well.
Well, what?
So the music's broke.
Oh, okay.
Their server kind of went.
That's
funny. Trying to get a plan B going here. 1 second.
I wanted to see the apparently not the preview, but because there is an actual preview for this week's episode, but it doesn't have the thing I showed you. That's supposed to be from it. Because I thought I saw someone in there that I'm like, oh, that's suspicious. Hi, Izu. At Hidden Intelligence in the base. Also, we get an appearance by someone else this week and next week that I'm like, yes. I wish this wasn't rushed to hell and back, but yes, thank you. Thank you for acknowledging like the best part of Rare Generations. And I'm sure that stepped off everyone to like who's showing up. Because unfortunately, I got tipped off to it during the opening credits because someone tweeted that his name was in the credits, and I was like, "Excuse me?" That's suspicious. But anything else before we hit articles for the week? Besides stall because music?
I'm trying to get it going.
Alright.
Actually, you know what I can do? I know what I can do. Hey, good. I can do that. Because that should go through.
Yay!
You might need to turn the volume on, I don't know.
I already did. Because I have my own music in the background at the moment.
Turn it down from that way. It's about on par with where the audio should be.
Yeah, I guess spoilers for 01 just to stall for a little longer. Soryo Hidden, aka Type 1, is showing up this week and next week. Not as Type 1, mind you, but as Soryo Hidden. Which is one of those, hell yes. Please, yes, acknowledge that he was a writer, because he shows up in this episode holding a 01 driver. And I'm like, are we going to acknowledge the fact that he was a fucking writer? Or are we going to make sure that it's double super canon? Because we've got more or less made it double super canon at this point. Just need to make sure. Anyway, shall we hit articles now?
I guess we shall.
Alright, so first up, speaking of that Avengers video game, data miners have dug into the beta, and they have found some interesting additions. There are references to Kate Bishop Hawkeye, She-Hulk, and War Machine. But there's no mention of how these three characters will be implemented outside of DLC additions. And considering that at least 2/3 of these characters could be... I saw one reference Echo Fighters from Smash. Because, like, Kate Bishop is Hawkeye. We're already getting Hawkeye. They wouldn't be too dissimilar from each other in gameplay. And neither would, like, Iron Man and War Machine, more or less.
Yeah. I mean...
The only one that would...
I guess... to argue the War Machine part, it might be different with weaponry, but that might be a small enough difference to where it won't matter.
Yeah, and I would say, like, there's no way you're making She-Hulk an Echo Fighter of Hulk. She-Hulk is an incredibly different character.
Yeah. If they do that, that's injustice to the character.
Yeah.
I love how now it's super quiet.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, those are in the data. Cool. That answers some of the questions about who's coming next, because I think they teased, like, I think 5 characters in the future. And at least one of them should be Hank Pym Ant-Man. So I guess this is the other 3, along with Hawkeye. So, yay! Moving on. So...
That was quick.
So, did you know about the DC Fandom event that was today?
Nope.
Okay, so DC, since we didn't have Comic-Con this year, decided we're gonna do our own digital event and do all of our announcements and stuff for all our movies and TV and comics and all that, and video games, because we got 2 announcements, one this morning and one this afternoon, actually before I went live, a little bit before we went live. And this was the one in the morning. From WV Montreal, we have our next Batman game in the form of Gotham Knights. There was a little bit more interesting thing going on here until it got clarified to be like, no, don't worry about that. So, how do you feel about a 1 to 2 player, like single player co-op, like Arkham style game with 4 distinct playable characters?
I could see that being pretty deep.
How do you feel about all the numbers, like Odyssey is, when it comes to characters and enemies and all that?
Depends on how it's done, I guess.
Because this actually looks fairly good. Setup for this is Batman is dead. I'm going to put in quotations because he may not be dead. And he has more or less given the reins of protecting Gotham over to Dick Grayson Nightwing, Tim Drake Robin, Barbara Gordon Batgirl, and Jason Todd Red Hood. And the 4 of them are having to protect Gotham from its various villains, including the Court of Owls from the comics, who are a shadowy organization with roots in the foundation of Gotham. They actually showed gameplay of this because this is coming out next year. And it will be PlayStation 5, Series X, for Xbox One, and PC. So you can probably let the bottom one play a little bit. We get a good look at Barbara and Tim in their gameplay. Reason I said that this was a little bit more interesting because do you think this is a sequel to the Arkham trilogy?
Maybe it could be. I don't know.
Well, it's not.
Looking at it, it kind of puts you in the vibe of it. But I mean, the Batman.
Well,
universe,
gameplay-wise, it will be, but
same.
story-wise and characters, no. This is not a sequel to Arkham Knight. This is going to be its own thing.
Probably for the best.
Yeah. A reason I said that is because initially the start of the trailer, or start of like the story trailer up top, talked about an explosion outside of town, and Bruce Wayne, blowing up the presumably Wayne Manor and the Batcave sound a whole lot like the end of Arkham Knight with the Nightfall Protocol. But it's not this, and also Jason Todd doesn't have a J branded into his face in the trailer. And I think the location that they're in, the Belfry, is also in Arkham Knight, and that's a place you go back to often in that game. And I don't remember if it was destroyed or not. And also, Barbara and Tim are married in that game at the end of that game, and like none of that's brought up. So more or less, it's its own thing. Don't worry about it. I will say, from the looks of it, story-wise, it's going to assume whoever you're controlling is the main character and the only one there. Because there are 2 scenes that showcase this. There's one scene where you're sliding down some ice slope into the building, and the second one is when you're confronting Mr. Freeze. Both times, the co-op character, in this case, Robin, disappear from the cutscene before it comes back and they come back in off camera. Or off screen. So, more or less, the game's just assuming it's just you. But otherwise, it looks cool. I'm not sure if I dig all the numbers and the number wang and levels and all that, and crafting mostly, because it seems like there's also going to be crafting because you keep getting materials off enemies.
I mean, that's kind of the recurring theme with a lot of games now is, here, you get items, you make your own now.
Yeah, I don't know. It's more than it needs to be for this kind of game. So it's whatever. But like, the co-op stuff seems cool. I don't know how co-op stealth was going to be, because I feel like co-op stealth with like random people is not going to be fun. But since this is going to be more or less...
Okay, it depends. Because if you're treating it as co-op stealth where everyone's in there to actively finish the mission, it might not be a problem.
Yeah.
If it's like a matchmaking, you can play random levels, then yeah, it could be a problem.
Mm-hmm. And also, the developer commentary for this stated that this is like 12 or so hours into the game, halfway through Frieza's more or less case or like story case line or storyline. I jumbled words there. So this is pretty much probably like a good ways into the game, probably halfway, to give a good idea of like what we're dealing with. It's also pre-alpha. But yeah, this looks good. I'm interested in
talk for it might look completely different by the time it's done.
More or less. Honestly, this looks pretty good, and I'm glad WB Montreal is, I guess, taking the reins of Batman because Rocksteady is doing something completely different? Question mark? We'll get there.
I mean, it could be worse than what they're doing, than what we're saying be done with the Avengers game.
You sure about that?
I mean, probably, yeah.
Okay. Anything else on this before we move over to that?
Nope.
Alright then. So the other game that got announced before I went live, is the game we knew about going into this, which was Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League, which is dated for 2 years from now. And all we have is a CG trailer.
I mean, that makes perfect sense. It would be scheduled for 2 years from now.
Yeah. This is from Rocksteady. This is in the Arkham universe, so this is going to be set somewhere within the time frame of the Arkham games. No specifications on when. But you'll be playing as one of 4 members of the Suicide Squad: Captain Boomerang, Harley Quinn, King Shark, or Deadshot. You can play with 3 friends or solo with 3 AI partners. And you're looking to take down Superman and the other members of the Justice League after an attack on Metropolis by Brainiac has, I guess, brainwashed them all to serve Brainiac. So you are killing the Justice League because that seems like the smart decision instead of killing Brainiac, maybe.
I mean, I'm kind of at least on board with that for the simple fact of the potential co-op.
Yeah.
The question is, we're getting a lot of games recently that, you can do co-op, but guess what? It's not gonna be unlocked for a while, and it's like, yep. Can we just have a game that, maybe is focused around that from the start?
Yeah. But this will be for Series X, 5, and PC, so no cross-gen for this one. Granted, it's kind of out of the time frame for that one.
Except it's really not, as far as Microsoft's concerned.
True.
Because the Series X isn't killing the Xbox One as much as it's just being an enhancement, is how they keep spinning it.
I do see one potential problem with this game.
Okay.
If you watch through the trailer, more or less everyone has a gun. Even King Shark has a gun.
Well, I mean, it does say that it's going to be an action-adventure shooter.
Yeah.
So
I wonder how different these characters are going to feel if all of their primary usage is gun. That's my worry. Because it feels more kind of Overwatchy, because you have like Captain Boomerang, who apparently can like teleport with his boomerangs. You have Harley Quinn with her melee weapons, Deadshot with jetpack, and then King Shark with melee. But those all seem very like special super-esque abilities, where your primary tool is shooty shooty bang bang.
You know, though, I would lean more towards they'd probably be going more of an Overwatch concept. Simply because, I mean, you do what works.
Yeah.
But in theory, they could possibly do something akin to, like, what Payday did. But instead of the classes being the difference, maybe the characters are the difference.
Yeah.
I mean, that's hopeful, I know. The real answer is going to be, yeah, it's probably going to be Overwatch, just story focused.
That thing that Overwatch isn't doing until the sequel that comes out at some point in the future.
Whenever Overwatch quits making them money.
More or less. But yeah, that's our two DC games. I'm more interested in the Batman one, because I like that Arkham gameplay.
I want something to come out of this before I could be on it.
Yeah.
Because like I said, I pretty much know what's going to happen. But I could also see the potential where they could maybe take like a Payday route. But yeah.
But anything else?
Nope.
Alright, we got a bit of a teaser for this next one, because we don't get the full reveal until next week, because we have the next Call of Duty. We have the next COD.
The next fish.
Yeah, and it's back to the Black Ops. And back to the Cold War? I feel like we've been in the Cold War before with Call of Duty, and specifically Black Ops. But yeah, Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War will be getting a reveal next week. How excited are you for the new Call of Duty? Fair.
Like my big question anymore is this going to influence Halo Infinite?
Well, about that, about Halo Infinite, since you mentioned that, because I got nothing else to talk about with Call of Duty. So, you know how Halo Infinite was supposed to be launched with the Series X?
Except now it's not.
Nope. Halo Infinite has been delayed into next year at some undetermined point. More or less, Bungie, or not Bungie, why did I say Bungie? 343 has made the call to delay it, I assume, with also Microsoft's blessing, even though Microsoft, I think Phil Spencer talked about this on a podcast recently, of, we almost released the game episodic. It took us exactly a day to say no. That's a bad decision.
Yeah, because you said about why did it take 24 hours to say no?
So now the Halo Infinite's not coming out until next year, but the Series X is not delayed. It is now slated for November, definitively.
Yay, that means Nintendo can actually start announcing what they're going to be doing in December and January. Because I'm sure they were waiting on that.
Well, supposedly, again, there should be a Nintendo Direct next Friday. Supposedly.
In which they'll tell us the mediocre holiday lineup because they're not going to compete with them. And what we've got coming for the next Switch anniversary.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I guess the bigger takeaway from this is that Microsoft just lost their ace in the hole for their launch. What now?
That's the question, really. And I almost wonder if maybe... I know they're doing the ODST flight that's actually for both Xbox One and PC.
Yep.
I know they're supposed to be working on cross-platform. Maybe the stipulation Microsoft gave them is force cross-platform to be finished by release.
Mm-hmm.
Which would be doable. The issue that I foresee with that is it might not be too good. Because right now we're kind of in a 2-month cycle between getting the next game ported kind of deal. For Master Chief Collection on PC. Which, in theory, that puts it mid-September, actually, for ODST. Even though I was seeing some stuff saying that it could be as early as the end of this month.
Mm-hmm.
If that's the case, then that's actually going to put around the Series X's launch when Halo 4 comes. Meaning at that point, all they would be doing would be working on cross-platform. So maybe, but I feel like that's too much of a crunch.
Yeah. Unfortunately, we still don't have a price for the Series X. Although we also have a rumor of a Series S launching, I don't know with the Series X, but at some point. So there's that. The more and more I see this console situation, the more and more I just go, can we delay the next year for everything? Can we just take a wash and just try again next year? Or are we past the point of no return?
I think past the point of no return.
Yeah, because I'm just like, the Series X has lost its big gun. I honestly don't know what is launching on the Series X at launch anymore. Because I don't think they've ever confirmed anything else besides Halo Infinite.
I don't think from the way I understand it, Infinite was the only exclusive I think that they really kind of were having. Yeah. And even with it wasn't going to be a Series X exclusive. Because didn't they say that was also going to be on Xbox One?
Probably.
I mean, regardless, it's going to be on PC, so...
Mm-hmm.
They probably actually have nothing.
Yeah. Which means Sony gets to come out of the gate swinging because they'll have Miles Morales, I think. Maybe? They have Spider-Man Miles Morales at launch. I don't think we've confirmed Sony's launch lineup either.
Like, I think we're actually going to have a really dry launch. Because I don't think either of them have anything to come out the gate with.
You know, when I said historically launches are never the best for consoles, I didn't mean that there's nothing to play. And that's what it's turning into, it feels like. It feels like more so than ever, it's better to wait a year on both of these boxes.
Yeah.
At least.
Which is funny that, actually I feel out of the most recent releases, the Switch was probably the smartest thing to ever buy in early.
Yeah. Yeah, the Switch has been really good. I've really enjoyed the Switch.
Well,
even though I'm not getting...
until we've just hit this dry spell from Nintendo, because I think they're trying to play chicken.
Yeah. Although I'm not getting Memory Heroes for Switch, I'm getting it for PlayStation 4. Because I think it might run better on PlayStation 4.
Unfair.
If I have the option, I will try to pick the PlayStation 4 version, because I think it will run a little bit better. And also, it won't try to take up as much space on the Switch. So yeah, anything else?
I can't think of anything. But I also have to get something set up before we can do the releases.
Yeah, because that's all the news we got this week.
Yeah. 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 And I just woke up and realized that we're barely gonna hit the 3 hour.
Yep. Because I can't really think of a tier list for us to do at the moment. Yeah.
I guess so. Let's just go on to releases.
Alright then, releases! We've got a lot. Also, I was gonna do these, but I got to talk to my mom today, and you did it while I was talking to her, so...
Well...
Hey!
So, the API apparently was acting funny with GameSpot, because after I got so far in on it, it was working then.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Also, there might be one misspelling that I can clearly see right now that that was what they put in.
Where is it?
First one on the 26th.
No, that's correct.
That is?
Yeah, that's correct.
Okay.
Yeah, that is correct. I have that game bookmarked on Steam.
Okay.
Because Ty played it, and I liked what I saw from Ty. No, that is spelled correctly.
Okay.
But anywho, releases kicking off on the 23rd. Parking Madness for Switch. On the 25th, we have Death End Request 2 for PlayStation 4. Descenders for PlayStation 4. Gear Club Unlimited 2 Tracks Edition for Switch. Giraffe and Annika Musical Mayhem Edition for PlayStation 4 and Switch. House Flipper for Xbox on PlayStation 4 and Switch. Kengawa Jet Girls for PlayStation 4, Madden NFL 21 Deluxe and MVP Edition for Xbox One and PlayStation 4, No Straight Roads for Xbox One, PlayStation 4 and Switch, Oddworld Munch's Odyssey HD Load Edition for Switch, Over the Alps for Switch, Project Cars 3 Deluxe Edition for Xbox One and PlayStation 4, Street Power Soccer for Xbox One, PlayStation 4 and Switch, and Vader Immortal Up Star Wars VR series for PlayStation 4. That's out on PC, isn't it? I swear that is.
I feel like it is. Bear in mind, I haven't actually looked all the way through this. I look for same title, and I do the find and replace for the platform. So pretty much it's just fill it all in.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like, it came out like a while back. And this is the first time it's hit PlayStation.
I feel like you're right, but I might be wrong and not remembering something.
Yep. On the 26th, Jenny LeCoux, Detective Vu for Switch. This is a adventure game, actually. A really good adventure game. more or less, you're technically playing as an author who's writing a children's detective series, but he's had declining sales, so he's trying to mix it up with his newest novel. So then you take control of the characters as their entire world is turned upside down as they go upgraded from a G rating to a T to an M situation. It's really cool. I really liked what I saw that Ty streamed. That's why it's on my wish list on Steam. Is going to be something I do pick up when I eventually get money, because I want to play this game. I might play through it all on stream, actually. But we also have Jet Guns 2 for Switch and The Suicide of Rachel Foster for Xbox One and PlayStation 4. On the 27th, we have Alphist by Poggy for Switch, Best Friend Forever for Switch, Commander Keen and Teen Dreams, Definitive Edition for Switch, Deadly Days for Switch, Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles Remastered Edition for PlayStation 4, Switch, Android, and iOS, Giraffe and Annika for Xbox One, Hyperspace Outlaw for Xbox One, PlayStation 4, and Switch. I think Ty's also done this one because it's you remember how the internet was back in the day in the 90s with GeoCities and all that stuff? Would you like to play a game where you're essentially...
There was a speedrun of this, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Because I think they said about it coming out on the Switch.
Yeah, you are an internet cop patrolling 90s internet. Quite literally.
And if I'm not mistaken, that is one GDQ run that I'm not 100% because I didn't confirm it, but the chat was going wild saying that was a world record, so yeah.
There was 2 world records, I believe. Yeah, been two world records. I saw on Twitter that they mentioned that there's been 2 world records. So it's probably that one and another one that we had world records for.
Like I said, I didn't verify, so that may have just been chat being chat, but...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Next up, we have Moon Remix RPG Adventure for Switch, Newton's Cradle puzzle game for Switch, Shooty Fruity for Oculus Quest, Sky Hill Black Mist for Xbox One, PlayStation 4, and Switch, Struggling for Switch, Tell Me Why for Xbox One. I can't help but be a 90s kid and think of the NSYNC song. Especially because I recently discovered that there is a bit in... It's one of those comedy cop shows. I can't think of the one. It's the one everyone knows. But they have a bit where they have 5 suspects go through one Backstreet Boys song, and it's this song. And I've seen a bunch of people remake that in different animation styles, so it's stuck in my head at the moment. Anywho, we also have Tom Clancy's Elite Squad for Android and iOS. Yay! We still have no idea what that game looks like, apparently.
Really?
We haven't gotten super good looks at this game.
Oh.
Yeah. And Ultimate Fishing Simulator for Switch. On the 28th, we have hashtag No Limit Fantasy Super Puzzle Dreams for Switch, Captain Tsubasa Rise of the Champions for PlayStation 4 and Switch, Color Jumper for Switch, Crosscode for PlayStation 4 and Switch, Death's Hangover for Switch. I think I know what that is. Isn't that the social drinking game? Nope, never mind. That's a completely different game I'm thinking of. I thought this was the game where you try to beat people in social contests, in drinking stuff, and you try to win drinking contests to get your ass out of hell. I don't remember the name of it though. I remember seeing it once. Anywho, we have Double Kick Heroes for Xbox One, Gear Club Unlimited 2, Tracks Edition for Switch, Grim Legends, The Forsaken Bride for Switch, Hexagroove Tactical DJ for Xbox One, Immortal Realms Vampire Wars for Xbox One, PlayStation 4, and Switch, Jump Force Deluxe Edition for Switch. Don't play that video game, it's not good. That's a bad video game. Liege of Dragon for Xbox One, and Madden NFL 21 for Xbox One and PlayStation 4, Mighty Golden Bolt Burst for PlayStation 4 and Switch, Nexomon Extinction for Xbox One, PlayStation 4 and Switch, Project Cars 3 for Xbox One and PlayStation 4, Road to Guangdong? Guangdong? I'm gonna say Guangdong for Xbox One and Switch. Serious Scramblers for Switch. Sheen for PlayStation 4 and Switch. Solitaire Klondike Minimal for Switch. Wasteland 3 for Xbox One and PlayStation 4. And Windbound for Xbox One, PlayStation 4 and Switch. On the 29th, we have Collapsed for Switch. On the 31st, we have Cinders for Xbox One and PlayStation 4. And Pedal Crash for PlayStation 4, Switch, Android, and iOS. Kicking off our September releases. On the 1st, we have Aerie and the Secret of Seasons for Xbox One, PlayStation 4, and Switch. Crusader Kings 3 for Xbox One. Iron Harvest for Xbox One and PlayStation 4. MX vs. ATV All Out for Switch. Batu for Xbox One. Mask of Mantis for Xbox One and Switch. And Piffle for Switch. On the 3rd, Batu to Batu for PlayStation 4, Good Pizza, Great Pizza for Switch, Jelly Champs for Switch, Niche, a genetic survival game for Switch, Spinch for Switch, Tell Me Why Chapter 2 for Xbox One, and Under the Jolly Roger for Switch. And finally, on the 4th, Batu to Batu for Switch, Doraemon Story of Seasons for PlayStation 4, Lair of the Clockwork God for Xbox One and Switch, Marvel's The Avengers for Xbox One, PlayStation 4 and Stadia, NBA 2K21 for Xbox One, PlayStation 4, Switch and Stadia, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1+2 for Xbox One, PlayStation 4, and WRC 9 FIFA World Rally Championship Deluxe Edition for Xbox One and PlayStation 4.
To be fair, I should have added PC on the Avengers, but
yeah. That's our releases, folks, which takes us to quick draws, and mine goes to like the one thing I noticed out of the indie game showcase since I didn't watch it.
Honk.
Double honk, because Untitled Goose Game's getting co-op as a free update. Which
honk,
is
honk.
Like the second game recently that's getting a free co-op update, because Ghost of Tsushima is getting a free co-op update. Like 4-player co-op update. Even. Which is one of those, like, okay, cool. So yeah, now you can harass this neighborhood with your pal as a double goose.
Oh god, now time for a new speedrun leaderboard.
Yep, because I have to feel like there are some stupid things you can do as double goose.
I wonder if you could shove the other one through, like, walls or something, then.
Potentially, I would think. And I have to think, like, I wonder if there would be new objectives. There has to be. There's 2 bows on the ducks, on the gooses, in one scene in this trailer.
So then there has to be.
So a whole new set of challenges. Ooh.
So probably a whole new route.
Yeah. Yeah. Now you can make people's lives miserable by honking twice as loud now.
Oof.
But that's all I have. Tommy, what is yours?
Well, mine I actually have nothing directly to link to, but it'll be in the articles anyhow. Basically, I'm gonna try to restart my Twitch channel.
Hey!
I figure I keep doing randomizers and stuff like that. I'm gonna make that more the focus. I think right now I'm aiming for doing like Mondays, and then since you're streaming Wednesdays and Thursdays, I'm gonna do on my channel over there those 2 days. Sometimes I might be in the Discord, so you might hear me. Sometimes I might not. It just depends.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's kind of the game plan. I'm thinking I'm gonna do like Kingdom Hearts 2 or randomizers and various other stuff like that. Basically, non-Zelda randomizers is going to take the Monday spot.
Mm-hmm.
I think Wednesday I'm going to start kind of hitting different Zelda randomizers, because I know there's a Minish Cap one. I know there's the Ocarina of Time one. I think there's a Majora's Mask one too. But basically, I'm just going to kind of bounce around doing different ones. So yeah. And then Thursday, I'm thinking is going to be the day I kind of focus on different speedruns.
Mm-hmm.
For the first little bit, it'll probably be Ninjala. Just because that's one that I feel like there's stuff waiting for me. It's just a case of I've got to figure it out kind of deal.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's kind of about it.
I found out that these little, like, push lights that I got for my shelves and stuff to give them some light, they're battery drains even when they're not on.
Oof.
Yeah. So, apparently I chose a terrible set on Amazon. Oh well, I just have to rip them down and replace them with something else.
Oh, yeah, that's right. There's apparently also a Twilight Princess randomizer somewhere.
So, is every potential emulated Zelda have a randomizer now?
Probably. Because I see Link's Awakening and Oracle in here also.
So could you do a relay marathon of Zelda randomizers?
Probably.
Someone needs to get on that.
And that is a good thought.
Yep. Wow. I can't say this. The soda block will take forever tomorrow. Because today was the debut of Soto Saber, even though, surprise, last night it technically debuted early. Like, I will grab the tweet and you can, like, throw it up on stream if you want.
That challenge, but I'll try.
But that popped up last night. Like, early in the morning. Like, close to early in the morning. That's a pamphlet that was going to go out to people promoting the Soto Saber line. So that gave us our first look at both Saber and Blades. Because it actually is Blades.
Hey,
it's not Blaze. It's not Blaze. It's not Beyblade. It's Blades. And it's spelled normally, too. So there's no crazy, dumb romanization going on there. Good. But yeah, the blog this week mainly focused on Saber and all of the improvements they're making to just the general Soto body, how they're implementing the form change gimmick, which apparently just has if there's a mid slot in, since that's the only thing we don't know about when it comes to the proper form changes, that replaces the chest and replaces the knee down of the legs. I guess. At least that's what they did in the Soto blog. So you can imagine what that will look like. The only problem is because of the setup. If you want to do Dragon Peter, Potentially, I think you have to do an A plus B plus C, like buy, because you'll need like the base saber body, and then you'll need the armor set that will be the Peter Fantasia or the Jack and the Beanstalk stuff, to replace the proper like bits to do that. I assume. We might find out more next week, because next week is going to be a fun one, because they do the rest of the saber improvements. They're doing blades. They're doing the Shoto X11, which we already know what is, but it will be our first look at it. They're doing something they can't talk about, which is probably a premium Bandai 01 set, most likely. I'm willing to bet. And they're doing... they're following up the Indaga Vizeba Soto tease. I guess by either giving us a full look at it, or something else going to be, here's what else it's coming with. So yeah, it'll take me like 20 minutes to get through all this, so I hope no one's ready to see me play Clue, because it'll take me a while to go through the block. Yeah, anything else?
I can't think of anything.
Alright, tomorrow, that, Clue, and original series, 4 episodes there. Wednesday, Thursday is more Radiant Dawn and Up Your Arsenal. Fridays, us back to Phantom Hourglass, maybe, if we feel up to it.
Yeah, I mean, we've got a backup plan. But I kind of feel like if I do that, then it's going to be just that for a while.
Yeah.
Like, that's my thing.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe we might try to power through Phantom Hourglass.
Mm-hmm. Saturday was Rampant Gaming with something.
Yeah, something.
Yeah.
Because I don't know. I've got an idea, maybe, but I don't know if I really want to execute that or not. Mm-hmm. So that's one of those. Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah. Which will bring us around Sunday with more original series, with more Hongo this time. Yay. But between now and then, if you like what you see, and drop a follow, we really appreciate it. Chipping away at that affiliate goal. At TGZoon on Twitter gets you updates when we go live. Next Match Point Discord and chat gets a Discord link. Drop by, say hi. We'll see you next time.